Okay, I take it we're recording. Alright, let's get this going. Hey everybody, this is Finn here. This is hopefully going to be one of my best guides yet, and if you guys really like it, I'm going to do a ton more of these on every battleground, but this is the first one I've got. I've got games for 2 others right now, and if you guys really like it, I'm going to keep doing this. This is how to win in Arathi Basin. This is the first one. Here I have a map with arrows, crudely drawn arrows, where I split the map in half, and I show the paths that each team will normally take at the very beginning of a game. The Alliance will usually hit Stables and Goldmine, as those are the closest to them, and then the Horde will usually hit Lumber Mill and Farm, because those are the closest to them. Now, Horde has the disadvantage because Farm is quite a ways farther than the 2 that Alliance take, so they do have the disadvantage here. So I play Alliance mostly, but I've also played Horde, so I'm going to get my strategy for both sides. As the Alliance side, I let, because there's going to be a ton of people that want to hit Stables, because they want the flag cap. Have one person, if you really can, have one person hit Stables and defend there. Just have him sit there, make call-outs, because that, that's a base that I'll see that can accidentally turn a tide of a game if the team that's playing forgets about the base. So you got to really pay attention to that well, and then take 4 or 5 people. Three or four people to Goldmine, because that's usually not as contested, because the Horde likes to take Lumber Mill and Farm. So what you have to do is take 2 or 3 guys over there and cap that. You usually want your better players to go over there in case there's a lot of people there. And then what I like to do is I take the large group of 6 people with some healers in it and hit Blacksmith, because that is where the most contested part of this map is Blacksmith. I honestly don't even like to take Blacksmith, but if you can, you could really easily win a game if you defend it, because if you see, there's just a triangle right there where you can defend all 3 positions and move to quickly. Move to each one quickly and get the defense off. And the reason I like Goldmine instead of Lumber Mill, not only because it's closer, is because if you've got people who can fall and not take damage, they can jump down in easily and take out that base without, having too much travel time, whereas Lumber Mill is way up on a hill and it's hard to get up there fast enough to take out the base before somebody sneak caps it. But those are the 3. Now, what happens, and what a lot of people don't do, and this is great strategy, is if the other team gets a Zerg of group together, so 8 or 9 players together, and tries to take out Blacksmith or Goldmine or Lumber Mill, you need to let it go and switch. You keep 2 or 3 people there to keep them busy enough to not cap it. They are going to die. Those 2 or 3 people are going to die unless they're good enough to escape or own 8 players, depending on how bad the opposing team is. But if somebody, say the Horde attacks Goldmine with 8 people, because 7 or 8 people, which they really want to get Goldmine because they need that 3rd base, what you want to do is take your team and go hit Lumber Mill, because chances are they are not going to be at Lumber Mill or Blacksmith or Stables. Not Stables, sorry, or the Farm. The Farm is the least likely you want to get because it's so close to their spawn if they lose all 5 bases. Plus there's just that spawn there anyhow. You want to probably get Lumber Mill. You usually want to stay on your half of the map because of the spawn system where they can spawn at their home base. So that goes for Horde as well. You want to take Farm and Lumber Mill and send people to Blacksmith. A lot of the times Lumber Mill does get quite contested. A lot of people try to take Lumber Mill, so it's important to send a little more people to Lumber Mill, which is going to leave Farm less defended and harder to get Blacksmith, because the Horde is in a bad position here. This is very Alliance friendly in my opinion. It's for a win, but you're going to want to hit Lumber Mill hard and then get Blacksmith if you can. But a lot of the times the Alliance won't send a lot of people to Goldmine, so that might be another option if you have people who can get down there fast enough to take it out, because the way the hill works is you kind of have a straight nice path while the Alliance has to curve around. But that's very important that you get that too, and you need to have 3 bases. And remember, if you can get 4 bases, great, but it's not important to keep 4 bases. That's never if you want to win, it's not important, because what can happen when you have 4 bases is your people get too spread out and they can double cap you very quickly, and then you only have, 2 bases and they'll have 3 and they'll have the upper hand. So you really want to be careful with that. And then really, it's the most important part of Arathi Basin is if you are getting overrun, you need to switch. You need to go to a different base because it's not worth staying there and losing that cap, and you've wasted all that time not actually going and getting another thing. So this pretty much wraps up the strategy in this. I'm going to show you a video. It's edited, sped up a little bit in some places, and I show you what another most important thing about this map is callouts. Callouts are so important because I make a few in this where it save our bases. Other people make fews in this that save your bases, and you'll see that when I go up to hit lumber mill and people are like, oh, we're losing lumber mill. I told them no. Let's go hit blacksmith. Let's go hit gold mine because there is not going to be anyone defending it. And I was right. There was not a single person there to defend it. Maybe a paladin. I can't remember exactly. I mean, it'll be in the video. This is going to be a long video, guys. This is basically the strategy. So if you just wanted to hear the strategy, this is where this is going to end. So rate, comment, subscribe on how you like the strategy. I hope you watch my new videos. And then there's a stream on Twitch. I'm going to be going up later today and tomorrow probably. But for those who want, you're going to see the strategy in action here in a minute. I'm going to stop the commentary here because I didn't know how long it would take me to actually describe the strategy, so I got to move the video over, and it should start here. So I hope this was a good strategy. You guys like it. Here comes the video, and I'll see you guys in 1 second. Alright guys, I'm back. Hello, this is the start of the BG that we watched today. Basically what we do is I take me and my friend, and what we do is we go straight to mine. And this, we actually fight a lot of people, and we kill a lot of people here. I mean, me and him are very geared out. We're pretty good at BGs. But you'll see that they don't come at us all at once. That was their problem. They came at us in a string, so we could easily take them down one by one because there wasn't an intense amount of damage that I couldn't heal through and he couldn't dish out. So we were able to easily take the base. We did have some help from a mage and a couple other people who were healing me as well as damaging, DPSing. I chased this guy down only because he was pissing me off, and I gotta, he was gonna go up to stables and take it probably, so we killed him. But you don't want to get. I do a couple times in the match because this was stupid of me. I'm sorry. I ran right into that ring of frost. I'm retarded, right? But you don't want to lose sight of what's going on in the battleground and fight people in the road. That is another super important thing in this match. In any flag matches, stop fighting people in the road. Please, public service announcement. Stop it. You know what? You don't need it. You don't need it at all. It's not important to fight people in the road. It doesn't help. The only time it would help to fight people on the road is if you had the opposite team all the way up in their spawn back on their thing and you were fighting them as they walked out, which has happened to me before. We were getting beaten so bad by a pre-made that we couldn't leave our spawn, and that's the only time you should fight in the street. Other than that, fight on a flag, please, because you don't need to be out there. Sure, you can run from base to base, but if you're just sitting there in the middle of the street, please do not do that. One thing, if you want to win BGs, you gotta die. You don't always have to die. I have a match where I went, I think in Isle whatever conquest, whatever bullshit, 15-1. I didn't die, and we almost. It's a long story, but you can still win without dying. Not important, but sometimes you got to push yourself on the flag to keep them from capping it for 2 seconds. Here, this is a perfect example of callouts. They're saying that people are coming to the lumber mill, people are coming to the lumber mill, and there's also guys going to the gold mine. So that informs us that there are people here, and that brings in reinforcements. And as you'll see, people coming in on their little their mounts and stuff, coming to help us out because there are people at our base, and we ended up killing them and keeping 3 bases. During this match, we held 3 bases for almost the entire thing. Sometimes we had 2, and sometimes 1 or twice we had 4 bases. But it's important that you keep the 3. That's how you get a good, solid win. It won't be a massacre, but if you're facing a team who kind of knows what they're doing, like this team kind of knew what they were doing, you really have to make sure you keep the 3 bases steady, because if you don't, you're going to lose. Here was a weird situation, and I wanted to talk about it. We had gold mine, we had lost stables, and they were kind of taking farm. And I told you before in the strat, I don't like it when this happens, because this just leaves everything spread out ridiculously. They've got people spawning up by our base, we've got people spawning down by their base. It's never going to end well. So what I said to my my Warlocky friend, let's go take stables, and we do. And they yell at me like, no, don't take stables, defend, defend. And I say, you know what, fuck it, we're going to stables. Me and my greed get in the way here, and I kill that guy, try to at least. And but I get back on my black war tiger, and I go after the stables. Another important thing, and I don't think there's a healer here, but yeah, there is, this guy. Find the fucking healers and kill them. Find them and massacre them, because I'm sick of healers and BGs. Which is good. You know, there's people healing, finally. Like, that never happened before. People are finally liking to heal, and it helps your team out. I think they had 4 healers in this match, but we still won. Why? Because people were focusing down the healers. A healer can keep somebody up through any amount of damage, unless you do the right thing and hit the healer. And you gotta have 1 or 2 people on it, because healers are really fucking overpowered right now. Well, they're not, but, you know, they're good. Death Knights are good at taking them out. Anyone who can silence are good at taking out healers. Rogues, and a rogue and a Death Knight on a healer's done for. Because he can't fucking touch, he can't heal himself, and he's taking a ton of damage, and there's nothing he can do. Unless he's a paladin, and he's a faggot, and he bubbles. Because, you know what, I play a paladin, I don't even like bubbles. They should nerf the shit out of that. Make it silenceable, make it spell stealable, I don't know. But it's ridiculous, because I have silenced paladins, and they can still bubble, and it's stupid. So make it less time. I don't know what you want to do with it. It's overpowered, and the lay on hands did. Stop it. All right, please. But here we see that gold mine was getting called out. So I go back down to gold mine. There are a lot of people here, and there was only me and another guy. So what we end up doing is holding off gold mine as long as we can. I don't remember if we get it back or not, but I think they get it. But we hold it off as long as we can. And this is another strategy that you can do if your team's good enough to hold bases, defend bases while there aren't enough people on it. You can keep the horde busy. Keep them busy at places, keep the other team busy, like they kind of did with us because they had the flag capped here. But they weren't. But what we did is they weren't on anybody else's. And we end up winning, I take it, because we got more reinforcements and we capped the base back. But those players that were fighting us weren't on any other base that needed capped, so they only had 2. And we end up capping this base, I believe, and oh no, never mind. Just shut the fuck up, Finn. Stop. You know, I don't know what I'm talking about. But these players weren't doing anything else, and we had 3 bases and they had 2. So what that kept them really from doing was going out and getting more bases and keeping them, you know, in the game. That's an important part. I mean, if you think you have enough skill and you can hold bases and you can go to the base and stay alive long enough to keep them busy, then please be my guest and do so, because you know it's going to help out the team. You just don't want to spread your lines out too thin. And at any moment when someone says, hey, we need help here, you stop on that base that you're distracting people at, and you go and help them out, because it's more important to keep the bases you have than to grab new bases, unless you have 2 and then you need 3. Oh, here's just a quick tip, you know, for BG players. I love BGs. I'm terrible in Arena. I admit it. I'm a shitty Arena player, whether that's Death Knights just being crappy, for Frost DKs because I can't play Unholy, whether that's Frost DKs being crappy in Arena or just me. I don't like them, but I do adore BGs. I love them so much, and I'm pretty good in them. I can hold my own, you know. So when you're in a BG, you gotta really know, you gotta control the engagement. And I've heard other people say this who play FPS games. Now it applies to MMOs as well. You have to know what's going on around you. You have to know who you're fighting, what classes you're fighting, where the healers are. See, he's a healer. I'm going to go back and get him in a second. He was spread out far enough that I didn't think he could hit heals on this guy. He ended up being able to, so you'll see I switch over to that healer and we pound him down. You need to control the engagement. See, I know right now that there's a paladin, a mage, I think that's a mage, and a paladin healer back there. There's a ret, a mage, and then there's another mage who's casting shit behind the bushes. I knew this while I was going on, and I was hitting the player who was doing damage as well as the players who were almost down, so we could focus fire them down and be able to kill them and get them off the base. You'll see I end up leaving that guy and going straight for the healer here when I notice that he's still being able to hit his healers, and I take him down with a rogue and a shaman over there casting elemental thingies, and we kill him. And now what that allows us to do is kill the other players, like this Death Knight here. He's not even important. He may be hitting you for shit tons of damage, but you focus down that healer because he can carry a team if he's good enough. And he was a pretty good healer. Also, people, use your interrupts, mind freeze, whatever, kick, use them because they do silence. If you have glyphs in them, they'll silence for a little bit. I'm not familiar with every class, but I know some of the interrupts silence for a couple seconds. Death Knights, use your strangulate. It's got like a 4-second silence, and if you pop your burn macro, which I taught you how to use in a former video, watch it. It's just, slash ice pillar slash, your trinkets of strength. But anyway, that you can kill a healer in under 6 seconds because you've got the as long as the resilience isn't high enough. You've got the damage, you've got the strangulates, you've got the interrupts. You can take out a healer with your necrotic strike. You can absorb their healing. You have the ability to take out a healer. Do it. Also, quick tip for paladins: if they bubble, stop hitting them. Just either if there's nothing else going on, walk away. Wait for them. Sorry, if there's nothing else going on, just wait for them to get out of their bubble and start hitting the shit out of them. But if there are other things going on, remember the paladin bubble is 8 seconds. Count out 8 seconds in your head. Figure out time 8 seconds. Hit somebody else for a little bit because you're wasting your DPS if you're not on the paladin. If you're not on somebody else and that paladin is bubbled, you need to get on somebody else. Here, what are we doing here? We kind of were fucking around here. We shouldn't have been here. We were getting overrun, but they had 7 or 8 people on their team here, so we were just kind of, holding them back. We end up losing one of our bases, so it's 2-2, I believe. And I realize this, and I run over to stables to help out. But that's the thing. As I said before, if you're screwing around like this, if you're doing stuff, you're holding them back, you're just getting kills, right when shit starts to hit the fan, when stuff starts to go badly, and I keep standing in these, I'm retarded. I always stand. It's like I want to stand in the Ring of Frost. But get in, go. When the team needs help, you know what you're doing, you help. You die, you die. You helped. That's the point. If you want wins, you gotta be willing to do the dirty work. You gotta be willing to put in the hard shit to win your BGs. Now, that might be easier if you've got a better team. But if you're pugging like I do all the time, I don't have 5 or 6 people to bring with me into a BG to, win it automatically almost. I've got friends, but I was playing with 2 people here, like one other person here, my warlocky friend, and me and him and I topped the leaderboards, and we had flag caps galore, defends. That the whole team, not only me and him, the whole team did extremely well in this BG. The flag caps are off the charts. The whole thing about this BG, other than your basic opening strategy and keeping bases defended, is communication between the team. You really need to stay talking to each other. And also, check the map. Check it often. Check it when you need. Know which bases are there. Know which people are where. Because controlling this engagement, understanding what's going on, is the most important thing in this BG. And most most BGs, understanding where people are at, knowing what's going on. Battle for Galena, same shit. You gotta know what's going on, what caps bases need to be capped, what things have to be put in to win that BG, where the flag carrier is. It's all important in winning BGs. Also, here, I go on a fucking rampage. I tear up 3 people, and I jump in here, and you'll see me type, oh what? Oh what? Finn saves the motherfucking day. Yeah. Because I do. I come in, I'm the Ninja Dead Knight. But, yeah, this is a fun. I've always loved this BG. I used to have like a level 26 twink, 28, whatever the max level was, 29 twink, and I'd come in here and play on my, my paladin, my ret twink paladin all the time. I love this BG. It's one of my favorites before I knew how to hit 80 or 70 or whatever expansion it was. But here, yes, here, I noticed the lumber mill is going down. People are saying, go to lumber mill. I say no. Sorry about the map. I say no. Hit mine. Mine. Because there's not going to be anyone there. I end up saying, he's like, oh no, you got to stay in lumber mill. And I say, screw lumber mill. hit the mine. I cut it out a little bit because my editing is still new. I just learned how to do this today. But I say screw lumber mill, you gotta go mine. Because the mine is, there's not gonna be anyone there, and I was right about that too. You know, you gotta go, that's the strategy. You gotta go to the one where it's not getting massacred. Now, half our team retardedly stays at lumber mine, and you know, they're not helping. They're just kind of sitting there. Nobody's defending stables. Nobody's defending, you know, the other positions. Everyone, 5 of our players were at lumber mine. The other ones went to hit gold mine. I probably should have defended, but that would be boring. But we got blacksmith, lumber mine, and stables right now. We got 3 bases because we took that back. I check out blacksmith real quick. I asked them how's it going. They said it's fine, and I run back to stables to defend because I noticed there's one man there, and you gotta make sure to check that. You can't always be sure that people are calling stuff out. There luckily wasn't anyone over here at the moment, but as I cross the bridge, I see a mage, and I notice this mage kind of look at me. So and he's not moving. So I'm thinking he's typing, "Hey, there's only one guy." That's why I jumped. That was literally what's going on in my head. I jumped up and down like, "Hey, look at me. I'm the only one here." So he comes and attacks me with 3 or 4 people. I make the call out. Anyone can do this. Make the call out for that people are coming. Get the number of people coming. That's important because that'll determine the amount of reinforcements most of the time that people send. Here they come. Hit the mage, first person there. But oh, this is so important. I've seen this happen to good people all the time. They focus fire the person they're attacking. They tunnel vision. They don't pay attention to what's going on around them. And they're going to cap the flag. They almost did here, but I'm like, oh shit, yeah. I see him hit the flag. I hit him. That's all you need to do. You guys got to hit them, they can't cap it, and then you get on them. Because that way they can't keep trying to cap the flag. And a lot of times what I've seen players will do is they'll focus so much on the flag itself that they won't hit you. They won't attack you. So you can do a shit ton of damage, almost kill someone, before they even turn around and start to hit you. And that's a win. That's a kill easy for you. And that also takes a person off the base. Ooh, weird noise. That takes a person off the base so you can keep hitting it. Basically, and also as you see there, and this is good for any player for BGs, if a paladin pops a defensive cooldown, or if a death knight pops an AMS, hit a different target. They're going to be in defensive stance. They're not going to be able to do as much damage to you. I know that there's this weird thing with paladins now where they can pop all their cooldowns and their bubble and still fucking one-shot people. But go to somebody else because you're going to be able to do more hitting someone else than you will, you know, not hitting a paladin. Here, quick call out, good teamwork. To gold mine, I rushed down to help. Really didn't need help, but I still, you know, came down here, helped them out anyway. And this is really what you need to be doing. It's all about communication. All about communication. And I believe the game is getting close to an end here because, you know. So we'll get to the fun stuff. I really like. I thought about this idea last night when I won the one with all the demolishers and the gates. I can't remember what it's called. It's in my head. I never remember what it's called. And I recorded a video where I went like, we won perfectly. We did a perfect win. Rushed in there. Got all the kill. We defended them down to the last minute that you possibly could. 0-0-0-0. And then we went in there in under a minute, and that was a good win. That was a clean win. That was a perfect win. I recorded it on the wrong settings, and I didn't have the video. So I was so, like, pissed. Oh, no. And I didn't do BGs for, like, the whole night. And then a friend of mine got on. I'm like, alright, I'll do BGs with you. You want to do them? Like, because he was helping me with farm transmog gear. And he was like, yeah, let's go get some BGs done. We queue together. He tells me, hey, this has been taking a while. Requeue us. I leave the queue. He does not leave the queue. Gets in a game. Plays it without me. So I'm like, oh, well, fuck. So I queue up again. I'm like, well, maybe he'll leave. So I leave the queue. And then I queue up again, like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to play. And I get in a game with another guildie. He just happened to be in the same Eye of the Storm game as me. And we played that, and we won. And I'm going to have a video on how to win Eye of the Storm, because we won Eye of the Storm, very textbook too. End of the game, 15-1, 51. Anyway, long story short, it was miraculous that I ended up playing with Nausea and getting these matches tonight. 15-1, great game. This is how you play it. Everyone did perfectly on the Alliance. We played the game really well, smart. I hope you guys liked it. I'm going to be streaming twitch.tv/Finarato. Watch it. Love it. I'll be hanging out with you. Thank you for watching. This has been brought to you by Finn. Finn for the win, Incorporated. I hope you really enjoyed it. Subscribe, like, comment. Love you. Peace. I hope you love. I will do more if you ask me. In the comments, say if you liked the video. I will do more of these. I had a lot of fun doing it. Bye.